Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is my Pinterest pin for today. So this is where we take a Pinterest pin and use it as our inspiration for our layout. And usually I like to use a sketch or a layout and do a scrap lift, something like that. Occasionally I'll do a mood board, but for whatever reason, this photo popped up and I loved the pink and the yellow. I loved the stripes and the polka dot, and so I figured I have pink and yellow in this collection, so I really decided I would use that color combo to make a page because that's not one of the color combos I've done yet this month with this collection. I do not have, I don't think I have any 12 by 12s left at this point, so it's literally all scraps of all of the yellow and pink papers that I have accumulated so far this month, so you can kind of see everything that's left over there. My biggest chunk is this mustard and white stripe, which is the B-side to the multicolor house print from the Aspen collection. So I'm thinking that'll be the bulk of the background, but I will have to be a little creative about how I kind of form the rest of the 12 by 12. I know in the back of my head I could just mat it on a piece of 12 by 12 white cardstock. But I kind of wanted to have a little fun with this. I already really like the fact that I have a ton of polka dots and stripes because that's one of the things I picked up from my inspiration photo were the striped and the polka dot straws. So I'm really liking mixing and matching all of that. It kind of is a lot for your eye, and I don't think on any other page I really would have liked to use these patterns all on top of each other like this because it is a lot. But the theme of this page, the photo I'm scrapbooking, is one of our very first puppy meetings. So Billy was in the Guide Dog Foundation as a puppy, and I was his trainer, and we had to attend meetings every month or so. So this is one of the meetings where you can see all of the puppies in his age group. We all came together for our little meeting, and we work on different skills that they need to have for growing up, and they kind of can check our progress with how the training is coming. And this particular meeting, when they're just all so young and they're so cute with their little guide dog and training jackets, and just the chaotic, playful energy of all of these puppies together, I really kind of wanted to capture on this page. And for whatever reason, all of these stripes and polka dots of the pink and the yellow all clashing on top of each other, like that chaotic look, really kind of encompassed the feel of the photo. So I'm digging it. I actually really like it. Like I said, I think if it was any other photo, I would have avoided kind of using some of these colors and patterns on top of each other. But whatever reason, this page is working for me, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I did mat my photo on some white, and now I'm going to kind of stagger up some of these scraps behind it. So I'm going on to this pink and white polka dot, and that will be layered behind a yellow solid, and then again onto the white and pink stripe that goes onto the yellow and white stripe. I'm just kind of piling all of these scraps and all of these colors together, and this is what's coming from it. I do have a scrap of this circular piece that was gutted from behind that kind of circular layout that I did, that scrap lift. So I'm really kind of happy I got to use that in the shape that it already was. I think it kind of leans into the lemon slice that was on the top of the inspiration picture. I kind of think this semicircle mustard polka dot scrap really looks like that lemon that was on the top of the glass. So I'm kind of just letting everything fall where it wants to. I'm trying to stagger my layers between the pink and the mustard, but like I said, there's just a lot of different but fun things happening. There's polka dots going on to polka dots, stripes going on to stripes, and I'm here for it. So I'm just gonna get these kind of layered together. I'm still gutting. We're getting towards the end of the month. This is actually I think the last page that you're gonna see, but the page that you guys saw, what was it, Monday-ish? I don't know when it went up, but that was the final page. So I'm definitely trying to get as much of the pink and the yellow used up on this page as possible, because I kind of know that after this one is my final page. So everything I can pile on here, I'm really trying. I really want to get that chair die cut used up. That's been a struggle for me this month. I think it's a really cute little little chair die cut, but it is kind of random. But seeing as this is a meeting, I kind of felt like this was the best opportunity to get it used up. So I definitely want to get that little chair die cut on here. And there's people sitting in the photo, so I kind of feel like it also goes there. But I am cognizant that there is this black and white polka dot pillow on this chair, and there is no black anywhere on this page. There are a couple black poodles in the photo, so there is black in the photo, but as far as the design as the layout, there's no black. So I do just kind of want to make sure that in each cluster I end up creating, there's a little touch of black. I really want it to be subtle. I don't want it to be too dominant or distracting, because I really kind of just love all this pink and yellow and all the pattern that's on this page. But I feel like if I'm going to get that chair die cut on there, it will look too out of place if it is the only black thing that I have on this layout. So there are several word pieces over there from the chipboard set. So I'm thinking the ones that are over there is homebody, together, and family. And none of these puppies are Billy's litter mates. And I kind of felt like we're not at home, so I couldn't use homebody. So the together I'm really going to try to get on here, seeing as all of these puppies are together. But I kind of am thinking, okay, so that has a little bit of black, so that can be in another cluster. So really, I'm kind of thinking I'm okay here. There's also that black and white striped tag if I need another subtle piece of black in a cluster that I can add in. But for right now, I'm really just trying to work with all of these scraps. This is kind of always the deal when I get to these last pages, is kind of trying to figure out how to use these scraps and make them look like they're the size I want them to be when you only have a limited piece to work with. So you can kind of see where I'm skewing this little pink and white polka dot scrap to look a lot bigger than it actually is. And I'm just covering up that gap with the last yellow fringe from the collection. So I love that. I have a scrap of solid pink, and I'm kind of trying to see where I could break up and add a little bit more pink. And the upper right hand corner is really looking like it's missing some pink because you have that yellow solid going on to the big semicircle yellow scraps. So I'm going to just trim a tag out of the solid pink and have that tucked in the upper right hand corner. I am adding a white hole reinforcer and my leftover yellow twine from my Heidi Swap tags. And I love that too because it adds the pink and the yellow together on there. There's just so much going on this page, but I had so much fun working with this way, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. You can kind of see how I've decided to lay out the 12 by 12. So I am laying everything on this larger piece of paper. That's the mustard and the white stripe. But I did have a scrap of the pink solid. So I did just take a piece of that to be on the top of the page. And the rest of it, I used my scallop border punch for the bottom of the page, and then I'm just making up the rest of the difference with some white cardstock so you can see the scallop detail. But that way I have kind of a 12 by 12 base to glue all of these scraps onto, which will definitely help with stability down the line. And now that I kind of like where my layers are all going to go, I'm going to gut this back layer before I glue everything down, because like I said, I still have at least one more page I'm trying to get done after this one, which again you would have already seen, but I end up using that scrap on that layout, so I'm glad I saved it. I'm going to go ahead and glue together the 12 by 12 so I have the whole background down, and then I'll glue down all of those crazy layers that I pieced together around my photo, and then pretty much after that I just get to embellish. But yeah, this page turns out a little crazy. I'm sorry if I kind of feel like from this top-down view, it looks a lot crazier than it does in person. And the stripes kind of play tricks on my eyes. So I'm sorry if the stripes make anyone else's eyes go a little crazy. It doesn't look quite this crazy in person, but I feel like when videos are sped up from this top-down view, it kind of also always looks a little extra. But I'm going to glue down all of these little scraps here. You can really see how pieced together all of those little layers are. I love seeing the backs of my layers because you can really see how pieced together it is. But from the front, it looks so put together and clean, and I love that. So I'm thinking this chair is going to go in this open corner here. It just seems like the most obvious place for an embellishment cluster. So I'm trying to figure out what all I want on there. I definitely want some pink and some yellow embellishment. But I'm trying to work around this chair because I definitely want to get this chair used up this month. I'm thinking maybe I can use a scrap of the solid yellow just to give me a solid backing to then build from. But then it almost looked too plain because there is so much chaos on this page. The plain yellow almost just looked too plain. So I'm thinking I'll just deal with the chair for now and try to figure out what else I'm going to try to do. I end up coming to the conclusion of using this little home speech bubble in pink. I popped that up on some foam, and my last little chipboard heart, that is yellow. And then I have a little chipboard yellow piece that says where I'm with you. And I really love that because it's right with the home speech bubble. So it's kind of like home, where I'm with you, which again is a sentiment I'm rolling with this month. As long as I have Billy or I have Marcus with me, I'm okay. So that's kind of how I'm framing this little cluster over here. And I really kind of like how deconstructed the cluster is. Usually I like to layer up all of my embellishment and it's all kind of piled on top of each other, and I really love that clustery condensed look. But for these pieces, I really like how spaced out they are and all lined up there. I think that's really sweet and kind of different. So I'm getting all of that stuck down. Very happy to have the chair on there. But again, especially right now, you can see how distracting that little black pillow on that chair really draws your eye in a negative way on this page because it's the only black thing and it's really distracting. So now I'm going through and trying to figure out what else I can add to kind of balance that a little bit. I do have a pink chipboard tag that I'm layering up with the little together piece in the corner of the photo. So I like that brings a little bit of black over there. But I do kind of want a third cluster up there by the pink tag just to kind of round it out. I kind of feel if I have a small black thing creating a visual triangle around the photo, it just looks better and it's not as distracting. So I did add a little yellow heart down by that cluster with the together word because I have the pink tag. I didn't have anything yellow, so now I have the yellow heart. And then with the yellow tab at the top there, I decided to add a pink heart. That way I have my pink and my yellow in each of the little clusters here. I am adding the date on that little tag in some pink. This is September 13th of 2011. And then I go through and I find a little die cut bow. Actually, it's a sticker. It's from the sticker sheet. That's another thing. I really wanted to get the sticker sheet used up. So I play around with these hearts. I thought that the light pink was kind of blending in up there, so I switched it to a darker pink. And now I'm putting my title down. I'm just using these two tile alphas. So I'm doing in pink meeting, and then above that I'll have in the yellow mustardy color puppy. So it reads puppy meeting. I'm still not done yet because I have the sticker sheet I want to use, and the black bow is I end up adding to that top cluster. So I know I still need to do that. But I like that I'm getting the title down. It fills out that space really nicely. Again, it emphasizes the pink and the yellow, which is really fun. I love looking back and forth from this page to the inspiration and kind of seeing where I drew each thing from. But if this doesn't say strawberry lemonade, I don't know what else does. So I'm just getting my last word down. And then I think I'll visit the sticker sheet for some final touches. So I know I did also take a pink label from the sticker sheet that I added next to the chair where I put the where I'm with you chipboard piece on, so I like that as well. But I'm really trying to use as much of it as possible because I don't want any of that sticker sheet left over at the end of the month. But I'm not quite there yet, so I was kind of looking at it and trying to figure out what else to do. I I thought it needed just an extra something, so I went through my little baggie of embroidery floss that my mom gave me, and there's a pink that matches perfectly. So I decided just to do a straight stitch along the bottom of all of these layers just to add a little bit of texture. I think it's really nice, and the shimmer of the thread kind of makes it look a little juicy, which again kind of goes back to my strawberry lemonade inspiration picture, which I really liked. So I just did a straight stitch across the bottom. I thought about stitching around the mustard semicircle on the top. In the end, I decided not to. I kind of felt like if I added more, it would have leaned into being too distracting, or if I went that far, I needed to go around everything, and I just wasn't willing to do that. So I decided just the one line of stitching on the bottom was a nice little touch. And I like that because I have the pink thread that's kind of shimmering along the bottom of the page, whereas that yellow twine that's in my tag at the top of the page is also shiny. So I kind of feel like I get that textural balance in that way. And then now I'm going through and just adding some finishing touches. I'm really trying to see what else I can get used up. I do have this scrap of the yellow and white branding strip from a previous kit that I pulled in to try to get used up this month. So I'm just adding that as an additional vertical layer underneath the scallop, and I like that addition. And now I'm really trying to see if there's anything else I can get on here. I really wanted to try to use all of the mustard and pink, but I'm pretty happy with how much I did get to use up. It was kind of bothering me a little bit. I kind of felt like this cluster with the chair wasn't beefy enough, and I kind of feel like with just a little bit of a doily peeking out of the pink layer going behind the chair, it would kind of make it a little bit more substantial. So I'm just adding that little scrap of a doily behind that chair, and I think that helps a lot. I also like that added texture, and it kind of breaks up all of the white and pink stripe. So yeah, I added that. It wasn't necessary, but I do really like it, and I kind of think the scallop of the doily complements the tag at the top above the title, so I'm liking that. I think I'm doing one more look to try to see what I need. It is really bothering me that there's not something black in the upper right-hand cluster. So I think I'm trying to go through my stash off camera and figure out what I could use, and that's when I found this little black bow. So I ended up pulling off this pink heart and layering it on top of the black bow and putting it down. And again, I kind of think that was the perfect touch. It wasn't necessary, but it makes my eyes happy having a small black thing creating a visual triangle around the photo, because I think the chair and the little together text makes more sense when it's kind of balanced that way. So adding that pink heart back down, and now I think we are done. So here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check the description for everyone else playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers to see what they did with their Pinterest inspiration. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.